Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about the teaser trailer that came out for Creature Commando. If you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description. But obviously it's a teaser trailer, so we don't get a lot of information. It's more kind of a tone setter and makes a lot of sense. It's by James Gunn. He wrote the episodes. I don't know if he's also directing them or not too, but it definitely has that James Gunn type of feel and vibe. Very much got that Peacemaker tone where it's just like, it seems very comedic. In fact, it kind of, with the nature of things, it kind of feels like Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad meets Doom Patrol. So, which I love all three of those, so like kind of getting that amalgamated into this show kind of feels like right up my alley. But we just kind of got this quick like introduction to like our Task Force M, for monsters, which is interesting because obviously we still don't know what's fully DCU canon. There's been confirmation from James Gunn and stuff, and I'm sure some of that will evolve over time, but it's like, because we know some of Peacemaker season 1 is canon, some of it's not. What those specifics are, we won't really know until season 2, but obviously we have a character like Rick Flag Sr. who's going to be a through line because he's going to be in not only this, but also the Superman movie and season 2 of Peacemaker. But the reason why I was bringing that up is because Waller says, well, I think it was Rick who brought up like, oh, didn't basically the government shut you down from ever using any human subjects for your Task Force X situation? She's like, oh yeah, but there's no laws against using monsters, and that's where Task Force M comes into place. So I never think about it because I'm not well versed in the comics, because usually like anytime I've seen Waller adaptation wise, it's usually one squad she's using at a time. But it's like, well, which is so interesting considering, like, right, we got My Adventures with Superman, you got the Suicide Squad Isekai, you got the Suicide Squad, and you got Peacemaker. So it's just like, once again, this whole element of just like, oh, these different squads she's kind of got going around. Once again, My Adventures with Superman and Suicide Squad Isekai are just their own things, but still, like, the point remains of like, I only ever see her operating one squad at a time, but maybe she always has multiple squads at a time. But it's just interesting to think about. Once again, we don't know what's canonical or not, because certain elements of Peacemaker that might not be canonical might be some of the stuff that's connected to the Suicide Squad. Once again, we won't know, but it's like, right, she, in this continuity, whatever it may be, she's already had a Task Force X, and we don't know what version of it was, but the government shut that down, so now she has her Task Force M handling stuff. I think initially, maybe this was known, but people were unclear what time frame the series was taking place because G.I. Robot was involved, I think, was kind of making it seem like, oh, is this going to be in the 40s or something? It's like, no, it's set present day, because even G.I. is like, oh, I haven't sent Nazis to hell, like, since the war or something like that. It's a line, so I'm curious what they're up against, whether it's going to be like kind of a Starro level thing or what, but it just seems... We don't know enough plot-wise. I mean, maybe the synopsis is out there, but I haven't looked into it. But just from the teaser alone, we don't really get. We just get a feel and vibe about what the series is. So, like I said, I expect it to be kind of like a Peacemaker and a Doom Patrol and a Suicide Squad, where it's like, hey, there's fun and levity to it, but like anything with James Gunn, there's a lot of like depth and heart to it as well. So it seems pretty dope, and I'm excited because obviously there's going to be crazy shenanigan shit you can do in animated form that you would be a little harder to do live action wise. You're not as restrained in some regards, so I'm curious to see how they really utilize medium of animation and when it comes to this series. So, but obviously these are just some of the things running through my head. I'd love to get to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like I said, it wasn't a lot, but what did you think about the teaser trailer? What do you want from this series? What do you expect from this series? Let me know in the comments. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.